and welcome back to another video. So today I am not in my home office. We are out in a resort at the moment to celebrate my husband's birthday weekend, and because it is a self-care theme weekend and he's out right now to enjoy his massage treatment, I decided to stay in and make this video instead. Today I want to share with you 7 books recommendations that I think would be helpful if you just want to escape from reality and you just want to be transported into calmness and in a better mental state after a hard week. And at the same time, there's a science to help you to bring you back to a better mental health. So if you can hear some noises from the aircons, people walking, passing by my chalet, I'm so sorry about that. But let's just talk about books now. The first book on this list is The Daily Stoic. This is the book that I've been reading since 2019 every single day, and I absolutely love this book. Also, this book is the reason why I wanted to make this video and decided to stay in instead of going for a massage, because I feel how important it is and how it has helped me to bring me out from a bad mental state into a calmness and better mental state and health over the years. If you watch my other video about this, I shared a longer review of the Daily Stoic. Feel free to dive into that video, but essentially the Daily Stoic is about a collection of quotes by the ancient philosopher like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Musonius Rufus, Zeno, and others. It is written in non-complex and easy translation in which that you can as easily take it in, reflect, and apply it into your modern lives. The language used in this book is very easy to understand, and it has a themes that is categorized into 12 months, where you can actually either read it in sequence by following the months as the book suggested, or you can also flip through right into the page or the theme that resonates to you or to your situation at the point of you having the book. The second book on this list is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. So this is the book that I read a few months ago, and also the reason why I am here today to share with you and excited to make this video, because I absolutely love Matt Haig, and I found him and read his other book called The Midnight Library. Similarly to The Daily Stoic, this book is lighter to read, not in a philosophical way or hard languages to understand. The choices of word are also lighter. It doesn't require you to think too deeply, just to reflect on the situations that you face whenever you read through a quote that resonates to you. The comfort books gives you the warm feeling, the reassurance to remind you to slow down when you feel overwhelmed, remind you to appreciate the time and to be by the nature like how we are today, being in the moment and being prepared for the unexpected situations in life. The third book of this list is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This is my first book by T.J. Klune, and this book is really awesome. I think it is really awesome, wholesome, and making me super duper happy throughout the pages from the beginning. I read this book until I finished it. The plot of this book, we have a main character, and the name is Linus Baker, who works in the government, and the department that he works in is called the Department of Magical Children or Youth. I think I might have messed up the phrases, but what they do essentially, this department, they oversee the magical people in this world who are considered as dangerous and threats to society. Society don't like people who don't sound the same, who don't look the same, who don't do the same thing as they are. So this group of peculiar magical children are put in an orphanage where they don't get adopted ever, and they are treated like an outcast, and they've been shoved away from the society. It's really sad at first, and Linus' life is very sad. He works in a very gloomy, strict, toxic environment, office environment, corporate world where you will be, and his world is very dull, very mundane, very sad, and surrounded by boring, lifeless routine. I know it sounds very sad, but I promise things get better when one day Linus were assigned to visit this orphanage that is particularly described as dangerous, and this is the house in the Cerulean Sea. And his assignment is to make sure that this orphanage is run properly, otherwise they need to close it. And this is where he meets the peculiar magical children and the caretaker. It makes me feel so wholesome when I finish reading this book, and I feel like I was so happy and absolutely fall in love with the storyline. There's also an adorable love story between Linus Baker and the caretaker, and then how he started to fall in love with the children, the fatherly love, and also the love between the siblings among the orphans. And it makes me super duper happy, and I can't recommend enough for you to start picking up this book. Book number 4 on this list is The Authenticity Project by Claire Pulley. This book is a fiction book set in the normal everyday lives. It started with a character named Julian Jessup, and he thinks that the most people are really honest with themselves these days, and he decided to write his own truth before starting to circulate the book, The Green Notebook, by leaving it in his local cafe. So this green notebook circulated around town and also travels outside of the town a little bit and brings 6 strangers in those areas and lead them back to the unexpected friendship and love story. Whoever found this notebook will need to add the truth about their deepest emotion and past self issues and before they actually can pass it on to the next persons to write. All of these strangers, they come from a different kind of backgrounds. The story is a mixture of heartbreaking, insecurities, painful life events. But it gets better when all of these people, they wrote things into this book and they started to know each other at the end. It really makes my heart feel so happy and super duper wholesome because I could see how the story ended happily. So this is a book that you would love to pick up if you feel like you have a bad day and you just want to have a happy ending. So I would recommend you to take up this book. Book number 5 on this list is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Yes, this book is not a fiction and it's very sciencey, but I believe science can help you to find a better way to show better self-care for your body and mind. And I know sleep seems to be very basic things to know for us as a human. I am a sleep champion. I sleep really hard, like a deep sleep for a long time, like really, yeah, and I don't feel guilty about it. Well, sleeping is the simplest self-care things that I can do, and sleeping helps me to reboot myself, especially when I've gone through a very annoying day. This book provides all kinds of information about sleeping, exploring why we need to sleep, the science behind to explain why, and ways to how sleep can improve your learning, improve your mood, many angles of your health, and even increase the longevity of your life as well. If you're looking for a logical reasoning on how to have a better sleep, you can consider reading this book because I think that's the gentlest thing that you can do for yourself is to understand why you need to sleep rather than staying up to think about the annoying day that you have gone through. The 6th book on this list is Ichabod by J.K. Rowling. This book is a children's book and is set in a tiny fantasy kingdom called Cornucopia. This tiny kingdom is rich with happiness as it was in gold and famous for its tasty food. There are this cream cheese pastry in this kingdom that was so delicious. I could imagine how delicious it is because people wept with joy when they actually eat them. Even in this happy living kingdom, there are monsters existed. Legend tells of monstrous and fearsome creature living in the marshlands, and that is called Ichabod. Some say it breathes fire, it spits poison, and is so scary that it takes sheep and children away. Some even say that it's just a myth. I really love Ichabod. I finished it in a single sitting. It's very descriptive and full of adventure from the beginning of the page. The world in this kingdom is so amazing. There's a battle between good and evil, scenes that prompt discussions that you can ask yourself and reflect and take it as a life lesson. And I recommend it to everyone who wants to have a little bit of escape from the reality, but also doesn't want it to be too hard or too complex to consume. And yeah, read Ichabod. And those are all the books that I wanted to recommend to you. It's a mixture of fiction and non-fiction. It's not that complex. At the same time, it's also comforting, especially on the days that you feel sad, you feel hard to go through, confused and battling with all the annoying things in life. There are so many other books that I really wanted to share, but I try not to add into the list today because I try very hard to list down the books that is not so complex in terms of the emotions and the plot, or if it has any adult scene that might upset people and making them feel more uncomfortable on the days that they really just want to feel more comfortable with themselves. And I want it to be something that is easy. I also want you to have some choice to feel a bit lighter when you read a book. So that's why I ended up to add in some children books. I love all of these books. It makes me feel really, really happy, and makes me feel even better after I read them. And I hope you enjoy watching them as well. And if you have any book recommendations, please share with me what are your go-to comfort reads. I would love to hear them. Also, if you feel this video is very helpful for you, or you know someone who needed to hear this recommendation, please forward this video to them, and also subscribe to this channel because it means the world to me for me to grow this community. Take care everyone. Bye bye.